Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Daisy, and I start my videos the same. I'm so awkward. Okay. If you guys don't know me, I have a 16-month-old. I'm lying. He actually just turned 17 months. So I have a 17-month-old son. His name's Jaden. This video is going to be about how I weaned my super clingy toddler. Yeah. I weaned him from the boob and from the pacifier, which is a miracle. I honestly thought it was going to be like Mission Impossible, and it honestly wasn't that bad. So I'm just making this video to give any other mamas out there some tips and advice, and to give them hope that they will survive. I was like dreading it, and I was so scared it was going to be really difficult, and I'm not saying it was easy, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, because I honestly thought it was going to be like way worse. So I also have a few other breastfeeding related videos on my channel. I did one on like my whole story of my breastfeeding journey. I did one on any tips and advice. I just have tons, so I'll leave them all down below at the end of this video. They're on my channel. You can find them. And if you're not subscribed, I make like mom videos and lifestyle videos and just a bunch of really cringy videos. So if you're into that, go ahead and subscribe. And also, you know, if you want to follow me on Instagram, here's my plug. Shameless self promo. So this video is going to be pretty chill. I'm just sitting on the floor filming this for you guys. I don't have any notes. I'm just going to tell you how I did it, and that's it. Before my son was born, I knew I wanted to breastfeed at least, and my goal was to do it for a year. I did it for a year and like 4 months, so pat on the back. I reached my goal, which is awesome. Breastfeeding was amazing. I didn't have like a specific time of when I wanted to stop. I just knew that, like, personally, I didn't want to go to 2 years. So I knew we were gonna have to wean him off like within those like few months for his 2nd birthday. But Jaden started going through this phase where he was super attached to me, super clingy, and he would just throw tantrums, and he was like horrible. He was like a monster. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. He was just so bad, and for everything and anything he would just like throw tantrums, and nothing would calm him down except the boob. So he was like glued to my boob, and he would just always try to be pulling my shirt down, and he was just like like, I don't know how to explain it. It's just, it got so bad, and I thought it was just maybe he was teething, so he was a little bit more attached to me, and he was like almost like cluster feeding, like when he was a newborn, and he obviously wasn't a newborn. So I was like, okay, this is getting a little out of hand, and I like couldn't take it. I was to the point where I was like getting so frustrated every time he wanted to nurse, and it was affecting my mental health a lot. And I also feel like it would have been affecting him mentally as well. I feel like if he was too attached to me, I wanted him to have some independence, be okay when he's away from me. I didn't want him to like start only relying on the boob. So once I like sat down and decided that, because at first I thought it was teething, but it lasted like over a month, almost 2 months, and I was like, no, like this is done. we're done. So I made the decision, and I know people say you have to wait until you are ready and your child's ready, but at the same time, like, I'm the parent, and I feel like this is what's best for both of us. So I just made that decision that, okay, we're gonna start weaning him off. And this is like, it was really hard for me. It was a really emotional thing. I honestly had a few breakdowns, like, as I decided this, like the weeks leading up to it. I just had breakdowns because it made me feel kind of like guilty that like I'm taking away this from my son, something that he loves so much and depends on so much. But I was just looking at it as like, it's gonna benefit both of us. So I just like pushed on, and I guess don't start this process unless you really feel like you're ready, because it's definitely an emotional thing for sure. So I did my research on like all the different ways you can wean your child off, and honestly I had no idea how I was going to do it. I just know that my son was like nursing constantly throughout the day, and throughout the night. Also, forgot to mention this, but my son has never really slept through the night that entire like 16 months. He like slept through the night probably twice his entire life, which is like crazy for his age. And I was like obviously so sleep deprived because he would wake up at least like 3 or 4 times at night just for boob, and it was draining, honestly. Like, it was affecting me. I was just so exhausted dealing with him all day, and then at night being woken up trying to put him to sleep, him getting so upset. Like, it was just a draining process, and I was like, no, I can't deal with this anymore. So he was nursing a lot throughout the days. So what I decided was that I wasn't just gonna stop cold turkey, because I don't think that's a smart idea. If that's what you want to do, go ahead. But personally, my thought process was that's not a smart idea, because one, it's just like messed up to do that to him. Like, just take it away cold turkey. Like, it's really mean. And then two, it's gonna be extremely painful. Like, if you do that, you're gonna get so engorged. It's gonna get bad, and you can risk getting mastitis, and it's just like not a fun process. I wasn't about that, so I didn't do that method. I actually did it over a span of, I want to say, 2 weeks. So I weaned him off the boob in 2 weeks, and I honestly thought it was going to take a lot longer than those 2 weeks. But what I had decided to do, my game plan, was just that I was going to take away feedings throughout the day. So I just cut it down to 2 feedings a day, morning and night, and that was it. I started to offer him a sippy cup with water at night when he would wake up, and obviously that didn't make him happy. All he wanted was the boob, so he'd come and like throw himself on my lap, and he'd try and like pull my shirt off, and I'm like, there's no milk, you need to drink your water and go to sleep. And he did not like that. He was getting really frustrated at that time, and he was just screaming and throwing tantrums in the middle of the night. So it was pretty rough the first, I'd say, like 2 or 3 days. But eventually it did get better. After like, I'd say about 5 days of that, I then cut it down to 1 feeding a day, which was just right before bed. And then continued the process. If he woke up at all at night, I'd just offer him the sippy cup. You know, I'd pat his back, rub his back a little until he eventually fell back to sleep. So that went on like the first week. And then what happened was, I was gonna go another full week of just 1 feeding and then see from there how he does. Maybe I was gonna like try and do every other day for like a week or 2, and then I was just gonna be done. But life told me, no, like, you're done. You and breastfeeding are breaking up. And what I mean by that is, I literally got sick. Like, I was sick for a good few days. Like, I think it was like 4 days, and I was still like nursing him once a day. But it got to the point where I was like dying. I was like, I can't handle this anymore. So I took some over-the-counter medication, knowing that you're not supposed to nurse when you're on that medication. So I didn't nurse Jaden for 2 days, and I had my doctor's appointment because I couldn't take it anymore. I needed to be seen, and they basically told me that it's not really a cold, it's more of like just aggressive allergies. So they prescribed me allergy medication that basically isn't good to be taking if you are a nursing mother. And I had to make the decision, and I was like, you know what, I just need to get better because it's affecting me. So I decided to just take the medication, and it's a daily type of medication. So if you're taking it daily, you can't be nursing every time you take that pill. So I was like, you know what, it's time. Like, we're just gonna be forced to stop nursing, period. So that's what ended up happening. I just didn't nurse Jaden for another few days after that, and he was fine. He was good. He still loves milk, so he drinks his like other milks that we introduced him to, and he drinks it out of his sippy cup, and he's good. So that's how I weaned my son off in 2 weeks, which is crazy. It would have took so much longer if I didn't get sick. So it's crazy, but I feel like everything happens for a reason. So I got sick and had those allergies for a reason, and like it forced us to stop nursing. So that's what we did, and it honestly wasn't that bad. I'd say like the first 3 or 4 nights were the worst, so brace yourself for those 3 or 4 nights. But then after that, I mean, it's gonna get better. So that's all I did. I recommend you guys try that just gradually as the days go by. Take away feedings until there's just no feedings at all. Just make sure that there's at least one good sippy cup that your child likes and drinks milk out of, so that they can use that as their replacement for your boob, because yeah. Also, at night when he would wake up, I started giving him his water, and then I would also give him a stuffed animal to like cuddle with as his comfort. I feel like I don't make sense. I'm so sorry, guys. I hope that you get like somewhat of information out of this, because I'm just talking gibberish, clearly. Last part, this is how we weaned off Jaden. So I'd say about 2, maybe 3 weeks after we were officially done nursing and like breastfeeding, Jaden lost his pacifier. How? I don't know. Probably like a month or 2 before, he has this clip attached to his pacifier, and it broke, so the little latch wouldn't like clip on his shirt. So basically it was his pacifier and then like a little string. There was no way of us clipping it to his shirt anymore. So I was like, he's gonna lose it. But I didn't want to buy him a new one, because I knew that like in the next few months we were gonna wean him off the pacifier, and we didn't want to buy him any more pacifiers either. So back to what I was saying, we went out to Dave & Buster's. We were walking around, we had the stroller, Jaden was walking as well, he had his pacifier, and I guess nobody realized when he dropped it. He just like must have dropped it somewhere, and we didn't realize it until we were leaving, and it was pretty late, it was dark, it was crowded. So I was like, oh hell no, like how is my son gonna go to sleep? You know, like he was super attached to his pacifier, especially because he didn't have boob anymore. So I was like freaking out. I went to look for it, my boyfriend went to look for it, we couldn't find it anywhere. So I was panicking, because I was like, how is he gonna go to sleep? So I was like, alright, whatever, we're just gonna go home and hope that he sleeps. Luckily we got him to sleep. The next day he didn't have it all day, and I was like, you know what, we're just not gonna get him a new one, because we were gonna wean him off of the pacifier anyways. So what's the point of wasting money on more when we're gonna try and stop soon anyways? We're just gonna, I guess life is forcing us to wean him off that too, sooner than I originally planned on it, but we just kind of went with it. So yeah, I will say though that like the past maybe like 3 or 4 months, we stopped offering him the passy. We just relied on it too much. We would constantly, like, for every little thing, we just shove it in his mouth. So like the past 3 or 4 months before that actually happened, we just stopped. Me and my boyfriend were like, okay, we agreed, we're just gonna stop putting it in his mouth. If he puts it in his own mouth, that's it. If he grabs it himself, like, that's fine. But we are not gonna physically grab it and put it in his mouth anymore for no reason whatsoever. We're just not gonna do it. So we did stop. So he didn't really like have it all the time, but still, like, he did love his passy. And I guess that's my only advice, is like just gradually stop offering it to him, so he won't be relying on it as much as, I don't know. Sorry, this is probably like the lamest story time ever. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, he just lost his passy, so we never got him a new one. We never got the replacement, and he eventually forgot about it. I will say just the sippy cup with milk helps, or water. And then also my son just loves to eat, so just distracting him with food, toys. He loves his cars, so I don't think he even remembers about his pacifier anymore. Life's been so good. I haven't, like, for the most part, my son's been sleeping through the night ever since he stopped breastfeeding. He doesn't care about having a passy anymore, so life's been good. I've been getting a bit more sleep, kind of, sort of. Hopefully this helped you guys in some way, shape, or form. And I just want to say, like, mamas, if you're gonna deal with this weaning process soon, or if you're in it right now, like, it gets better. You'll get through it. You're gonna survive, I promise. So I'm so happy. My son is 17 months old, off the passy, off the boob. We're good. Potty training, I'm coming for you. Just not yet. Give me another month or 2 life, and then we will get there. Alright, well, I think that's it for this video, guys. Like I said, hopefully it wasn't too long, and hopefully I made somewhat of sense. If I didn't, I'm sorry. Alright, well, I'm gonna go. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you guys like this, and subscribe if you're not subscribed already. I'm trying to get to 300 by the end of the month. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.